The British. The French and Indian War between France and England was a decisive struggle for supremacy on the North American continent. When the war ended in an English victory, it brought the English culture to Detroit. Unlike the French, who were mostly interested in the fur trade, the English sought land for colonization and would begin to enlarge and populate the city. The French. In the 17th and 18th century, French explorers, fur traders, and voyageurs traveled the river. In 1701, Antoinette de la Mothe Cadillac landed at a spot where he was to name Detroit. The arrival of Cadillac and his party of French settlers in 1701 marked the beginning of the first major changes to the natural look of the river. Land is cleared, a fort is built, and strip farms begin to penetrate the interior like fingers of a giant hand. However, the habitants located their homes close to the river because, like the Native Americans, they too are dependent on the river for food, water, and transportation, necessary for bringing in supplies and supporting the region's fur trade. Pontiac's Rebellion. Their arrogant treatment of the Indians resulted in Pontiac's Rebellion, which brought death and destruction to the river during the Siege of Detroit. It was the access to reinforcements and supplies that came via the river that allowed the English garrison to hold out and eventually defeat Pontiac. War of 1812. British troops cross river and bluff Commander William Hull into surrendering Detroit without firing a shot. Detroit is a British territory again for almost a year. As the population of Detroit continues to grow, downtown Detroit as we know it begins to take shape. The rural, agricultural, fur trading area soon becomes a part of the Industrial Revolution, a transformation that would one day earn the names Arsenal of Democracy and the Motor City. Early on, pollution of the river is still a minor problem of little concern to the inhabitants of the city and those living along the river. But as the Industrial Revolution bloomed into full production, things changed radically. The river in distress. Spurred on by rapidly growing automotive industry, the once natural shoreline was now almost totally transformed from its natural state to land supporting a manufacturing economy. Massive industrial development occurred up and down the riverfront as the river provided the water for manufacturing processes, as well as provided an invaluable convenient means for shipping raw materials, as well as the cars, trucks, and other finished products the world economy was demanding. Invariably, with increased human intervention and the industrial manufacturing use of the riverfront, people began to lose their connection with the Detroit River.